Welcome back to Living and Investing in Cancun. This time around, we are shining a light on a condo development project called Punta Esmeralda, located in the heart of Playa del Carmen. These condos start at around $146,000, are close to pretty much everything you'll want to do in Playa. Many of them have gorgeous views, and all of them come fully equipped, furnished, and decorated. So, what's the catch? Stay tuned. I'm kidding. They're small, but otherwise, yes, in this video we will be talking about what Punta Esmeralda has to offer, as well as what Playa itself has to offer, so that hopefully by the end of this video, we will have helped you arrive at your own conclusion as to whether or not it might be right for you. Now stay tuned. Hey again everybody, my name is Frank, I am the man in the chair, and I am partnered with the lovely Diana, a licensed agent with Net Real Estate, and we help people just like you who are wanting to either live or invest in Cancun or its surrounding areas find that perfect spot, so do not hesitate. Whether you are 9 days away or 90, reach out to our team, whether you shoot us a text, send us an email, give us a call any day of the week, any time of day, it is what we love to do. So yes, as mentioned in this video, we are talking about Punta Esmeralda. And something I'll say real quick that I've said in a number of our previous videos is that when it comes to the projects and developments we talk about on this channel, we have a lot of information. So much information that they could easily be an hour long each. So for the sake of time, I keep it brief and summarize about the key talking points, such as what they're about, what they have to offer, floor plans, amenities, location, pricing, discounts, and so on. So the reason I bring that up is, yes, if you have any questions that do not get answered in this video, once again, absolutely reach out to us and we will happily provide it. And otherwise, let's waste no more time and get right to it, starting with the subject of location. And if you are not new to the channel and you've watched videos that we've made about projects in Playa before, this is going to be familiar information, so feel free to skip ahead. In case you didn't know, Playa del Carmen is a very popular destination, both for residential and tourism. It's a very livable city with a great quality of life. It has a loaded downtown life, and because the city is located on the coastline, you have easy access to the beach as well. This makes Playa a little bit unique because take Cancun, for example. Of course, it is relatively near ocean. That's what everybody pictures when they think of Cancun, but its actual downtown is a bit removed from the shoreline. In Playa del Carmen, you also have the very popular Fifth Avenue. It is totally pedestrian. It is a famous street full of restaurants, shopping, nightlife. What's interesting as well about Playa is that it really does lend itself to most lifestyles. In addition to all of the aforementioned things, it even has cool little spots for foodies which are blossoming, an abundance of public beaches as well, not privatized by hotels, but of course you also have the option of beach clubs. It has an element of professionalism in addition to, of course, the tourism. It even has recently installed cycling lanes for safety, which is the type of thing you'd see in a place like Portland or Austin. And worth mentioning, one of its major industries is actually healthcare. You've got an abundance of hospitals and doctors, and of course, while most places everywhere are getting more and more and more expensive, Playa is no different. However, in contrast to a lot of the booming places in the United States, for example, Playa is still relatively considered affordable. In addition to that, similar to a place like Tulum, for example, which is also part of this larger, more broad area called Riviera Maya, it has a culture of people interested in things like holistic medicine, an alternative lifestyle, spiritualism, etc. Not only that, Playa del Carmen is great for families too. It even has early childhood education, a great amount of diversity. I mean, you're going to see a lot of Americans there as well, and great residential communities, perhaps more so than other cities within Riviera Maya. Worth mentioning as well, and because of all of the things I just talked about, Playa del Carmen is among the top tourist destinations worldwide, and it accounts for 50% of Mexico's overall tourism rates, averaging around 6.5 million tourists per year, and on average about 76% occupancy of vacation rentals. It has 10 world-class natural and theme parks, protected biospheres, nature reserves, around 400 hotels and resorts, so on and so forth, seeing a population growth of 110% in the past 10 years and around 425% in the past 20, which makes it basically the fastest growing place in all of Latin America, with an annual average population growth rate of 8.4%, averaging between 10 and 30% of annual return on investment. Alright, now that we have the summary of Playa del Carmen itself out of the way, now it's time to talk about Punta Esmeralda itself. Which, yes, as mentioned at the start of this video, is located in the heart of Playa del Carmen. But not just the heart of Playa del Carmen, literally on the aforementioned 5th Avenue, the center of where everything essentially is happening. And accordingly, as you can imagine, it is experiencing exponential growth, largely in part due to its proximity to key points of interest surrounding it, including, but not limited to, the literal ocean, natural cenotes, world-class golf courses, beach clubs, hotels. The list is basically endless. And yes, as mentioned earlier in this video, all units come fully equipped, furnished, and decorated. On top of that, Punta Esmeralda is loaded with exclusive amenities, such as underground parking, an elevator, a lobby, a video call intercom system for each unit, 24/7 surveillance, ocean views on the rooftop, ocean views in the infinity pool, a working area, and of course, a gym. All combined, Punta Esmeralda has a total of 27 luxury units, some of which are lock-off units, which I'll explain a bit later. But yes, the aforementioned catch, at least in my opinion, is that these units are small. Not to say you can't live there as your primary residence, or even a secondary vacation residence. However, Punta Esmeralda kinda makes it clear in their own vernacular that this is about investing. In their information, they mention things such as generating effortless income while your property is kept in pristine condition, benefits such as professional management, flexibility for personal use, continuous property maintenance, and of course, access to exclusive services and amenities. So essentially, a steady ROI is the goal, and is also likely why they come fully furnished and ready to go, with the small size of these units essentially serving the purpose of being rented out to tourist tenants. So with that in mind, of the 27 units, there are 6 total floor plans. Technically 5, but they take 2 of them, combine them in a lock-off, and make that the 6th. And just in case you didn't know, a lock-off is essentially what it sounds like. 2 independent units combined into 1 unit that has the ability to lock them off into 2 separate units. It makes less sense as a primary residence, in my opinion at least, unless of course you're just wanting a larger unit all to yourself, but as an investor it makes all the sense in the world, because you could rent out the entire combined unit to 1 party, or you could rent out the 2 separate units to 2 parties, or if you're wanting to visit as your secondary residence and stay in one of them, then you can still rent the other one out and make money while you're there. So with that in mind, let's now go over the floor plans themselves. The first of the 6 floor plans is simply called Floor Plan A, which is, yes, the smallest of all the floor plans, comparable to, in my opinion, a hotel room, at right around 239 square feet. After that, we've got Floor Plan B. Hooray for the alphabet. This floor plan will be a bit bigger at around 479 square feet. Still small, of course, which is the case with the rest of these, by the way, but at least in comparison to Floor Plan A, there's a sizable difference. Now we're moving on to the aforementioned lock-off floor plan, which is essentially floor plans A and B combined. Both of those put together is going to be right around 718 square feet. And yes, this is of course ideal for investors. Moving right along, now we have Floor Plan C, just about 10 square feet larger than Floor Plan B at right around 488 square feet. After that, and the largest of all floor plans, we have Floor Plan D at right around 508 square feet. Now lastly, the final floor plan is Floor Plan E. Coincidentally, it is about 10 square feet smaller than Floor Plan D, but in my opinion, its design just feels a bit more spacious. And yes, as mentioned a number of times by now, all of the aforementioned floor plans come fully equipped, furnished, and decorated. So ultimately and subjectively, because I do not work for Punta Esmeralda, would I like to live in one of these units full time? No. I do not care how nice the furnishing is or how nice the views are. However, would I like to visit it as a secondary residence and or rent it out, especially keeping in mind all of the amenities and its insane location? Hell yes. Speaking for myself at least, that's the kind of approach where it makes sense. And as mentioned, I think that's what Punta Esmeralda has in mind to begin with. And in my opinion, they have been priced accordingly. So at long last, let's get into that. Starting with the diagram they so generously provided, as you can see, they are color coding the views. The windows in blue would be one particular view, same with the windows in green, same with the windows in beige, and same with the windows that appear to be more clear. And what's the red, you may ask? Well, looking at the price list, it's not a view, it's what's already bought up. On the far left, you're going to see which floor the unit is on. Next to that would be which floor plan it is. And in the middle, you have the size both in square meters and square feet. Next to that is the pricing, rest assured in pesos. And on the far right, you have the views color-coded in accordance with the diagram. Now, because a majority of us are not so quick to automatically translate pesos into dollars, I've done that work for you. On the low end, as mentioned, it starts at around $146,000. And then you'll find that each floor plan differs a bit in its exact price, and this is of course because of the view it has. So for example, floor plan C starts as low as $149,000, but can definitely be between that number and say $200,000. And that is just one specific example because of course that is applicable to all of the other floor plans, ultimately arriving at the largest number you'll see on this entire list being right around $235,000 US. Worth mentioning as well is that Punta Esmeralda offers discounts. While this information is in Spanish, all you really need to know is that the size of the discount varies on how you pay. For example, 30% down, 50 and then 20 at closing gives you a 3% discount. Or for example, 70% down, 20 during, and 10 at closing gets you 6, so on and so forth. Just something to keep in mind, good to know you have options, depending on how you might want to go about payment. And so, there you have it, a brief overview of Punta Esmeralda. And yes, I use the word brief because again, we have so much more information that would have made this a much longer video, and the idea is to simply give you guys a summarized idea to help you arrive at your own conclusion as to whether or not it might be right for you. And that's the thing, it might not be right for you. Maybe you want something in Tulum, maybe you want something in Cancun, maybe you want a plot of land instead of a condo, maybe you're trying to get something luxury premium at around $1 million instead of $160,000, so on and so forth. But again, that is what we are here for, helping people just like you who are wanting to either live or invest in Cancun or at surrounding areas find that perfect spot. But the only way we can do that is, yes, by you reaching out to us. So do not hesitate. Whether you are 9 days away or 90, reach out to our team, whether you shoot us a text, send us an email, give us a call any day of the week, any time of day. And of course, if you haven't been able to tell by now, on this channel we talk about living and investing in Cancun and its surrounding areas. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and ringing that little bell to get notified anytime we put out a new video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Click the like button if we've been providing any value for you. Share it with anybody you know. And until the next one, you guys, my name is Frank. This is Living and Investing in Cancun, and we will absolutely catch you later.